And now to South Africa, where a court in the country has jailed a white woman for yelling racist abuse at black police officers. Vicky Momberg, an estate agent, was sentenced to 3 years in prison for utterances she made against the black police officer in 2016. The black officers had been trying to assist her after she was robbed on the outskirts of the main city, Johannesburg. The police ruling is the first prison term imposed in South Africa for verbal racial abuse, as people convicted of the same crime previously have always been fined.
Absolutely, Jerry. And commenting on the unprecedented verdict on television, the Justice Minister, Michael Masuta, felt that it would have a deterrent effect. It was about intensifying and toughening the fight against racism by imposing even tougher sanctions. Details in this report.
A South African court has jailed a former real estate agent to prison for 3 years with 1 year suspended for racist abuse. Vicky Momberg is accused of using a derogatory word against a black police officer 48 times. Her lawyer says she was not in a normal state at the time, as she had just been a victim of a smash and grab robbery. Her alleged racist rant went viral on social media when she was caught on video hurling insults at black officers trying to assist her after she was robbed in the outskirts of Johannesburg in 2016. The lawyer also indicated she would appeal against the conviction and sentence. If the appeal fails, she will be the first person to be imprisoned in South Africa for racist abuse.
Well, with us now to weigh in on the existing racial attitudes in South Africa is Piet Rampedi, the editor of the African Times. He joins us live from Johannesburg, South Africa. Good morning, Piet, and thank you for joining us on the program. Piet, this case presents for the very first time in South Africa imprisonment for someone uttering racist comments. How important is this moment for not just country, but particularly any black person in South Africa that has been a victim of racial abuse? Piet.
If you consider the South African past of racism, colonialism, and apartheid, where black people were subjugated for many years by whites in this country, this case is a landmark case. It's a precedent-setting case because it will be for the first time in the history of this country that a person who has been charged criminally and convicted for uttering racist slurs has been convicted and sentenced to a jail term. And in this case, we are not talking about just a couple of weeks or months. We're talking a good 2-year effective jail sentence with 1 year suspended. So, considering our past here, this is present setting. And this case really created a lot of momentum and excitement that finally we're going to see a perpetual and habitual racist in this country being thrown into jail for subjugating and basically injuring the dignity of black people.
South Africans have fought hard to end apartheid and racism, but a case this recent, I mean, as recent as 2016, can mean that there are still wounds to heal and the struggle is still ongoing in the country, Piet.
Look, the reason why this case has actually excited a lot of people, especially the victims of racism who are blacks in the main South Africa, is because people like Vicky Momberg and many others like Penny Sparrow have been found guilty in the various other courts for racism, especially the Equality Court. And there's been a trend in this country of racists being brazen and brave and insulting black people and uttering racist slurs. In 2014 or 2015, there was a woman called Penny Sparrow who basically called black South Africans who were enjoying Christmas Eve on the beach in Durban monkeys. That utterance created a lot of outrage on social media. People were outraged for a couple of months, but it never really went anywhere. So when you see the very same law or legal justice system coming out very hard on racists and making an example out of Vicky Mombek, it really sets a precedent and creates a lot of excitement and hope amongst Black South Africans.
Piet, clearly yes, and we can understand that. But some may say an eye for an eye has never solved anything, and that the subject of racist attitude is beyond the notion of just punishment. So I will ask you, how does Vicky Mombek's sentencing guarantee that racism will be stopped in South Africa?
In an ideal world or an ideal country, an eye for an eye would not necessarily solve anything or make any sense. But South Africa is not an ideal world or country when coming to racism because of our past. We're talking about a good 360 years or more where white South Africans were oppressing their black counterparts and basically deliberately violating their right to dignity, calling them derogatory names such as kaffers and monkeys and baboons, and nothing was done about that. Racism, land, and inequality are amongst the top challenges that the country is faced with. So when you have someone being basically called out, attacked, and thrown into jail for uttering a racist slur, it really levels the playing field to some degree, although it will take us quite a lot of, a long time to level the playing field. But when you start there, it becomes a case of too little, too late, but a good start nevertheless.
Well said, Piet. This is how much we can take. Thank you very much for your insights on the story. Piet Rampedi, editor of the African Times, speaking to us there from Johannesburg. Many thanks indeed.